Imagine you are at a coffee shop. If you have $5, you buy a coffee, else you just buy water. This is how your computer makes decision using if-else statements. Hello everyone, my name is Ankur and welcome back to our series on Python basics. And in this video we'll see how to write if-else conditions and the best practices that we can follow. To write if-else statement, you use if keyword followed by a boolean condition. If boolean condition returns true, you execute the statements that are written under the if statement. If the boolean condition returns false, you execute the statements written under the else statement. Let's take an example of a metro station. If you have a valid ticket, you will be allowed to enter, else you will be asked to get a valid ticket. I'll take a variable is valid. I'll call it true. I'll write the if statement followed by a boolean condition. Since the is valid value is boolean, so we can just write is valid as the condition, and in the next line I will write a statement which will be executed if is valid has a value true. If is valid is not true, if it is false, then we will execute the else statement. Invalid ticket. Let's just right click and run our program. As you can see, since the is valid is true, so the boolean condition is true here. So the statements written after the if condition are executed. Let's say if valid was false, I'll change the value to false. Now if I run my program, so the statements written in the else condition are executed. Since is valid is false, so line 10 is not executed, and when the flow comes to line 11, else statement is executed and invalid ticket is printed. Let's take a variable called age and its value is 18. I want to write a condition if age is greater than 18. I want to execute a statement saying you can vote, and if the age is not greater than 18, I want to write a statement you cannot vote. If I run my program, so what will be the output? Since the value of age is 18 and my condition is saying if age is greater than 18, this will return false. So our condition after the if statement is false, so the else statement will be executed. Let's run our program and see the output. As you can see, you can't vote. If I change the condition here, if I just change the condition to greater than equal to, so now our variable value is 18. So when we check the condition age greater than equal to 18, so this seems to be true, right? So it will return a true. If I run my program now, you can see the output, you can vote. We can use various operators in the boolean statement of our if condition. Let's try to use some of them. Let's say x not equal to 10. So it's a negation operator. I'll take a variable called x. I'll make its value as 19. I'm saying my condition is if x is not equal to 10, then print the value of x, else print try again. If I run my program, you can see it's printing 19 because this condition is returning true here. We can also use double equal to operator. Let's say I want to print if x value is 10, else I want to print try again. So on line 9 we are printing the value of x. As you can see, the x value is 19. When the double equal to operator is put here, the boolean condition will return false. So if I try to run my program, it will print try again. Another important concept is of nested if-else conditions. In nested conditions, you execute multiple if conditions until one of them is true or the else statement is executed. Let's take an example. We want to calculate the grade based on the marks. Let's take a variable called marks. We'll take an input from the console. We'll typecast it to the integer. We want to check if marks are greater than or equal to 50, and we want to write another if condition if marks are greater than or equal to 80, grade A, else grade B. If marks are not greater than 50 or greater than 80, then we want to print fail. Now if I run my program here, as you can see on the console, it's asking me to give a number here. Let's say I give 67. So now here what happened, you can see the output is grade B. When line 10 is executed, the marks greater than 50 condition is true. It comes to the line 11, then marks greater than 80 is false. It skips the line 12 and directly prints the grade B, that is on line 13. So let's run this program again, and I'll give an input 45. Now the line number 10, the condition should be false, and once the line number 10 is false, it will directly jump to line 14 and fail will be printed. As you can see, the output is fail. This is not very good way to write the nested conditions. If the conditions are more, then our program can become very complex to read, and it can easily become very complicated. So if you want to make any changes to such a program which have so many nested conditions, it will become a nightmare. So there is another way to write this in a nicer way. There is a concept called if-else conditions. So let's see how we can implement that. I want to say if marks are greater than 80%, then print grade A, else. So there is a keyword called elif, it means else if. So if first condition is false, it will execute the second condition. So as you can say here in the nested if else statements, the way we write is way more cleaner, and also you just write one else statement. So now what will happen if I run my program? If I give marks as 60%, so now you can see directly it has printed line 13, right? If I run my program again and I give 33, and it has directly printed fail, that is line 14. So this is if else condition. So this concludes our topic of if else conditions. So few things to keep in mind. is the indentation. Whenever you write a if condition, in the next line there needs to be indentation. If you don't give the indentation, your interpreter doesn't understand that whatever is written after the if condition belongs to the if condition, and it has to be executed after if condition is true. And also you can see here there are two ways to write the print conditions. Since it is just a single line, we can write it just after the colon. You don't need to write it in the next line, that is easier. But in real life mostly you don't write just a single line, you don't write the print line, you need to write a logic, right? So the indentation is the main thing that needs to be taken care of. Other than this, it's better if you practice more of the if else conditions. To help you guys, I have given this exercise.md file here. I will paste it in the description. You can take it from GitHub. And if you have any doubts in the programs that we did or in these exercise programs, you can write it in the comments. And also if you find it easy and you have already found the solution, I think it will be good for other people also if you share it in the comment section. In the next video, we'll discuss about Python for and while loops. And if you understood the concept of if else statement, please like and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video.